Yay!
Yay!
So today we will be talking about adding assignments to your classes. Specifically, we'll be looking at how to create assignments and the different assignment parameters you'll need to set in order to assign them. All right, so I am in the general channel. If you remember from previous videos that I've made, the general channel is where you do everything. It's kind of your workspace, and then you send everything out to the other channels from there. You can do all of your courses and all of your work inside of the general channel, or you can choose to send things from the general channel to other channels. So today we'll be looking at assignments, and then I'll also show you how to send that to another channel. So across the top here, my screen is narrow because I'm filming the video, but normally you'd see assignments. I'm going to click where it says 2 more, and that's where my assignments are going to pop up. So I'm going to click on that, and it will bring up the assignments menu. Now, since this is the first time I've created an assignment inside of this course, I have to click on Get Started. And then now that I don't have any assignments in here, I also have to click on Create. But where it says Upcoming, that's just where your assignments are going to be shown if they are in the draft state or if they are assigned. And once we create it, I'll show you what that means. So let's click on Create to get started with our first assignment. All right, so when we click on Create, we can do 3 different things. If we click on Assignment, that is something that the students have to upload and turn in. It's if they're writing a paper, if they're answering questions, if they have to label something, anything that they're going to turn in that you're going to do from assignments. A quiz is something where they're able to answer multiple choice, do short answer, essay writing, things like that. It will grade it automatically if it's multiple choice or multiple select. So a quiz is something where they're going to input answers into rather than upload a file. And then from existing means that you already have another assignment already published, and you are bringing it from maybe another course into your classroom. So for the purposes of today, we're going to do assignments. I'll create another video that walks you through creating quizzes. So once you click on that, notice it says New Assignment. Up here at the top, you have the opportunity to discard what you've created. Means, this isn't working, let me get rid of it. You can save it as a draft, meaning that the students cannot see it. You're just saving it and coming back to edit it and assign it later. Or once you feel like it is completely done, you can assign it to where the students can see it and to where they can go ahead and interact with it. The first thing you're going to do once you're in here is create a title. So I'm just going to call this assignment 1. And notice that it says that it's saved up here. It would probably help if I spelled it right. There we go. All right, now you have the opportunity once you've named your assignment to add it to a specific category. If you've created categories, that means you can save it as a test, as a project, an essay, a quiz, participation, something like that. However, keep in mind that as of right now, Teams does not talk to Aspen. So even if you add categories in Teams, it's not going to send it to that same category in Aspen. You're actually going to have to move everything from Teams into Aspen manually. So you can assign it a category, but it won't change the weight of it, or it won't change how the grade is calculated. It will just have it in a category that you've created. All right, so this is the most important part, and that is the instructions that you create. Notice that when you click on it, you can type in here. You have some options to format the text. You can add links, you can add numbered items, bullet points, underline, highlight. You can change your text color, etc. So you've got quite a few things you can do inside of here. So before I get into actually typing up the instructions, which you can see I've done, I've decided to go back and change the title of the assignment. I've decided that this is going to be about Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal. So I'm making the title of the assignment specific to what the students are going to be doing. So I'm calling it Assignment 1, A Modest Proposal. So if you look at the instructions that I've created, I've put a lot of information in there, and there are some things that I do want to point out that are very, very specific. First of all, you need to tell the students information about how to turn the assignment in, and you need to tell the students information about what they are supposed to do with the resources that you are adding. So notice in my directions I have said, please read the attached document, the text to Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal. Then view the video and answer the following questions. You will need to create your response in a separate document and upload it where directed. So this tells the students, A, what they need to read, what they need to watch, B, what they need to do with the information that they have taken in while watching and reading, and C, how they need to submit the assignment. Now, I've left it ambiguous. I've said create your response in a separate document and upload it where directed. This means that if they want to open up a Word document and type their answers in, they can. If they want to jot down their answers, take a picture of it and upload that picture. As long as you as the instructor can read what they've written, they are also able to do that. So it gives them options, but also says, hey, you need to create something and you need to submit it. So I've pulled these 10 questions just from another assignment that I have about this text, but basically I've just included them inside of there so they can number their papers 1 through 10 or number their documents 1 through 10 and fill that out. Now I need to add the resources. The first thing I'm going to do is actually add the video, because you'll add videos that you have the link to inside of the instructions section. So I'm just going to hit enter a couple times to create some space, and then just type in, here is the video. All right, now what I'm going to do is come back to the top of my instructions, and I'm going to click on this little link symbol here. Once I do that, notice it will pull up a prompt that allows me to just copy and paste my video in. I've chosen to use YouTube. Obviously, you can link to anything, any sort of additional resources that you want them to view, pages you want them to read, or even if you want them to go into another program like Edulastic or something like that and complete something inside of there and then upload proof, you can do that. I'll walk you all through how to get students to create screenshots in a different video, but that's something you can always do. If they're completing their work inside of another program, such as Edulastic, Khan Academy, things like that, you can always have them do a screenshot and submit that. They can save that and upload it. All right, so now that I've entered it, notice that I've got a live link posted inside of here, and they will be able to see the video once I have saved the assignment. So now that I've got the video in, I'm going to go in and add the resource that I want them to see. So because this is saved to my particular computer, I'm going to just click upload from my device at the very bottom. But you'll notice, let me move this. You'll notice that you have the opportunity to upload something from OneDrive if you've uploaded something to Notebook. If you have a link, you can also put that in there, or you can just create a new file as well. So you've got plenty of options. All right, so I believe the thing I'm looking for is in my desktop. And let me find it here. Hang on just a sec. There it is, Modest Proposal. So I click on it, I click open. That uploads it here. And then once it's ready to upload, this will be purple and you can just click on done. And there is the text that I want them to read. You can change it by clicking on these 3 dots over here. If you want to remove it, if you want to download it, etc. And your students will also be able to download the documents by doing the same thing. All right, so the next thing is to assign points. I'm going to make this worth 50 points. You can make it 100, etc. You can add a rubric. I'll create another video for adding rubrics, but I use rubrics a lot for writing, so we'll walk through how to do that as well. All right, so I'm assigning it to Eubanks Sandbox. That's the class we're in. If you have multiple classes, you can assign it to multiple classes. However, from this point, it's best just to assign it to the class you have. That way you can choose the channel that it's going to. You can always go into your other class and copy it over. That's not hard to do at all. I'm assigning it to all students. If this is just for a certain set of students, or you want to differentiate, you can just choose, a couple of students or a group. And then if you want this assignment to, like, say somebody enrolls late and you don't want them to be responsible for this information, then you're going to leave it as don't assign to students added to this class in the future. But if you're like, well, no, this is a major assignment and they need to be able to show that they have mastered this, you can click edit and you can say assign to all students added to this class. So I'm just going to click cancel out of that. All right, so let's talk about due dates. Choose how you want to set up your due dates. Some folks will do, like, every assignment is due the day that we're working on it at the end of the class period, because I consider it classwork, and that's okay. So you can select the date that you want and the time. So if your class is over, if it's first block, I think that's over around 9:20. So you can say, this is due on Tuesday at 9:20 a.m. just to give them a very specific time frame to turn it in. You can say, well, it's due by the end of the day on Thursday, so you could put in 3 p.m. there. Some folks will say, well, this is an assignment I want them to work on all week, so I'll just say Friday, and then leave it 11:59 p.m. because I'm not going to get to this until Monday anyway, so I'll give them as late in the day as necessary. So play around with that, see what works. For some of your students, they're going to struggle. If we do go to fully online learning, they're going to struggle getting out of bed and being present and attending during the class period. So they might just have a lot of late work. It really just depends on them and how they're able to acclimate to this type of learning. Something you can do, it defaults to the assignment will post immediately with late turn-ins allowed, meaning that there's a due date. If they turn it late, you have the discrepancy to take off points, but they're still allowed to submit it. But if you want to change that, just click edit here, and it gives you a lot of options. You can assign the student, or you can schedule this assignment to be assigned to students. So if you want to go ahead and say, well, we're going to do this on Monday, so I'll make it available Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. You can do that. Of course, you've got the due date that you just decided on. And then you can give it a close date. A close date means the students will no longer have access to it. So if they miss out on the window to turn it in, then they just get a 0. So that's up to you. You could even set it to say, well, if your late work policy is you have a week to get this in or 3 days to get this in, then you can set that close date, 3 days after the due date, whatever that looks like for you. So think about those settings, set them up, and then once you've got them, click done. All right. The last thing I'm going to talk about is probably the most important thing if you are assigning these assignments to different channels. If you want your assignments just to all go to the general channel or just to be under assignments, then you don't have to worry about this. However, if you want to send an assignment to a channel, you absolutely, positively must choose what channel you want to send it to before you finish editing it the first time. So I'm going to come down here where it says settings. Notice it says post assignment to this channel, general. It's going to default to post your assignment to the general channel. If you click on edit, that's going to allow you to choose what channel that you send the assignment to. I'm going to send this assignment to Unit 1. So I'll just click on that. Notice the checkbox moves and click Done. Once I save and assign this assignment, it's going to send it to that channel. Now, you are able to, and unless the assignment is due, is past due, or the students are, working on it, you're pretty much able to adjust anything about the assignment, even after it's assigned. The one thing you can't adjust is this right here. So if you're like, nope, I want to change the due date, that's not a problem. If you're like, ooh, I forgot to add this question, this resource, etc., that's not a problem. But if you forget to post it to the channel, it's just not going to be in that channel. Now, you could make a copy of it, post the copy to the channel, and then delete the original, but that's a lot of work. So just make sure you get in the habit, if you're using channels, of assigning your assignment to the channel while you're working on it. So notice that I've started editing and this assign button has turned purple. That's because it is able to be assigned because I've included enough information in there to assign it. So you can do a couple things. You can save it, you can discard it, or you can assign it. I'm going to save this as a draft for right now because I want to walk you through how to change it from draft status to assigned. So I'm just going to click on save. You'll see that I have 0 assignments under the assigned category, but then when I toggle drafts, I have 1 assignment under draft. This means that the students are not able to see it until I assign it to them. So if you create a bunch of assignments in drafts, you can go back and click on them, and then you can make any changes you need to, and then click on assign. You'll notice that it is down here under the assigned column now, and I get a notification that tells me that it has been assigned to Unit 1. If you come over here to my Unit 1, you'll see that the notification is there. And once I click on that channel, all of the information that I have in here is still there from the last video that I showed you. And then my assignment posts at the very bottom. So if you have any questions about assignments, let me know. Like I said, I'll do another video about quizzes and another video about rubrics as well. Have a great day.